Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Coffee and Cards with Michelle. Today is Thursday. Oh, I think it's Thursday. My son went back to work, so it must be Thursday. May 7th, and this morning we are highlighting some retiring products like we've been doing all week long. Now, I know you're going to call me out and say, but Michelle, Painted Poppies and Peaceful Moments aren't retiring. You're right, they're not. But I have a question for you. Did you know that when you bundle the painted poppies and the coordinating dies and the peaceful moments and the coordinating dies, you get 10% off? In the new catalog, they won't be bundled. So that's what I wanted to talk to you a little bit about. They will be sold separate. So if you haven't got your painted poppies and your peaceful moments bundles, now would be the time to do so. Otherwise, you'll be paying full price in the new catalog starting June 3rd. I'm also going to be using some retiring product today in my cards, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm going to leave it up to you to try and figure it out. So down below, when you figure out what I'm using on my card today that is retiring, would you please go ahead and put it in the comments below? All right, so I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm stepping out of my comfort zone this morning. You know, earlier in the week, I did something that was a little more avant-garde. No. In the beginning of the week, I did something vintage. I can do vintage. This time, we're doing something a little bit more avant-garde. Goodness gracious, my coffee cup is empty. You can tell I need a second cup. All right. So we're going to take those peaceful poppies, painted poppies. It's the peaceful poppy suite. It gets me so confused. Anyways, we're going to make this kind of avant-garde card. And I call it that because it's not like me. So anything that is out of my style, I just call avant-garde no matter what it means. All right, so all measurements can be found over on my blog later this morning at www.makingmemorieswithmichelle.com. We're going to start with a piece of thick whisper white cardstock, which measures 4 1/4 by 11. It's scored at 5 1/2, and I'm just going to give it a nice crisp fold using my bone folder. I'm going to set that aside, okay, because everything's going to build on that. So I'm going to move my sample out of the way. I have a piece of basic black, which measures 5 1/8 by 3 7/8, and then a piece of whisper white cardstock, which measures 5 by 3 3/4. Don't try and memorize that, all right? I'll write it all down for you. Now I'm going to take my Memento black ink pad, and I'm going to give it a try over here first to see. You know what? That one seems a little light. I'm going to try this other one. I could re-ink it, but I'll do it later. Yeah, that one's a little better. All right, so down here on the corner, and then I'm going to do it again. I'm not sure where to put this right now, okay? I'm going to stagger that. And then I'm going to flip it over here, and I'm going to do the same thing. And the reason I'm staggering is because I like that little blossom to show, okay? Now, we could color these, but we could also take these very cool little, they're kind of like splotches of paint, right? And we're going to color our poppies using that. Let's see what it looks like stamped off. Let's try stamping this one off, all right? And we're just going to do it on all 4 poppies. Okay. Now, oh, that one doesn't have a label. This is the larger splotchy, we're gonna call them the splotchies, the larger splotchies, okay? And I'm gonna stamp that off and then stamp it in the opposite corners. Like so. This is fun. All right. Remember, if you see any retiring product, comment down below, okay? Next, let's see, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and adhere that for now, just to get it out of the way. What did I do? Okay, guys, you know what? How many times this week have I done this? Like every single one? Honest to goodness. Only I don't want to cut it on here. What did I do? Oh yeah. All right, we're gonna take a little bit off here. I know what I did. So I was making a card for you guys this morning and it wasn't going to work. I dreamt it in the middle of the night but I couldn't make it work. So at 7:30 I changed everything up. I did. I still don't think that's the right size. We're gonna go with it. Whew. I promised to put the right measurements in my blog for you. I told you the right measurements, I just didn't cut it right. Okay, so that goes on my card base. Next, I've already die cut out of the painted labels. This is in basic black. Then this littler one is in Pool Party, and after I cut it out, I embossed it with the Scripty embossing folder. Now, how did I get it straight? You know that our embossing folders have this nice black line. So I flipped it over because this is always the top, right? The letters that are here are on the top, but I flipped it over and I put this in here and I lined it right up on that vertical line and I closed it like so. And you could use a little piece of washi tape if you wanted to hold it. And I just ran it through my die cutting machine. Easy peasy. All right, next I'm gonna put this down on my black. This makes the coolest frame. Then I have these vellum elements that came in the Poppy Elements, and I've pre-punched one out here. And I'm gonna get my Stamp and Pierce mat out, and I'm taking my Poppy Parade blends, and let's grab Old Olive, and we're going to color the vellum. Now, vellum has, the embossed vellum here has two sides. One has kind of a shiny white side, and the other has a duller white side. So the shiny is the top, the dull is the bottom, and we're going to color the dull side, okay? So take your dark Poppy Parade, and I'm going to just color over right here. And then I'm going to take in my light Poppy Parade and finish that. Remember, I'm coloring on the back side because when I turn it over, you will see how that Poppy Parade just pops, especially with those white veins. And I'm going to take my light here. The white veins of the embossing will really make a huge difference. Okay? Then I'm going to take my dark old olive and I'm going to come down just right along the vein of that leaf. Okay? And with the light, I'm going to use the skinny end. And I am wearing my glasses today, so it will help. Okay? And then just come down here. Like so. All right. That dries pretty fast too, by the way. Okay. Can you see that? I'm gonna hold it up like that. Can you see how pretty that is? I think it's just gorgeous. All right. Now, the other thing I'm going to do with this is put it down onto my frame just like that. I'm going to take a little bit of adhesive right along the back here. You don't need a lot. Vellum isn't very heavy. And I'm just going to adhere that. I just put a little on that stem, okay? Because we're going to put a label across it and you won't see it. Again, pretty cool. I'm going to set that aside. I have a scrap piece of Whisper White cardstock and my Always Remember stamp. Ooh, that looks really crooked. I think it's just my label on crooked. It's quite possible. But it won't matter because I have my classic label punch out and ready to go. Okay, that's why I stamp first, punch last. And we're going to line that up. And I have a scrap piece of basic black. Now my label here is about 3/8 of an inch, so I'm going to cut a 1/2 inch. And then this measures, about 2 1/4, so I'm going to go just a little bit more than that. Add a little snail behind it. All right. I have some black dimensionals here. And I'm going to put this right here. I have my light pool party blend, and you know what? I'm just going to color those little blossoms there. All right, now I also have some mini black dimensionals. And I'll put them across my label. Like so. And I have some of this pretty glittered organdy ribbon. And I'm going to tie a bow. And this stuff ties absolutely gorgeous bows. All right? Reminds me of that ribbon you get at Christmas that has the wire inside. You know what I mean? When you're making wreaths and stuff. Oh, it's pretty. I'm going to adhere that with a glue dot right here in the corner. I might tuck that just a little bit. Okay. Poppies in different colors. Beautiful, fun, carrying over, but separate. Okay, you won't be able to get that 10% discount on these anymore. Again, if you noticed anything that I use that's in the retiring or last chance list, make sure you leave me a comment of what it was below. Let's see how many you spied. I will be here with you again tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. You can find all information on what is retiring as well as the measurements I used and products I used on my blog later this morning at www.makingmemorieswithmichelle.com. In the meantime, stay inside, stay safe, and stay crafting. Until tomorrow, bye-bye.